All right. So you've started compiling your research. You've collected historical research, you've collected some evocative or abstract research, you've collected your tactile research. Now, what do you do with it? Well, the best way to make sure that you don't lose any of those images is to collect them and compile them into what we call a research morgue. Now, I know when you think of morgue, you think, ooh, that's kind of creepy. Dead people, autopsies, down in the basement with morticians. Um, that is a type of morgue, but that is not this type of morgue. Our type of morgue is really just a collection of research. Um, it's where you just take all of your research and you put it in one place. Hopefully, you organize it well so that you have your historical research all in one place. You have your evocative and abstract research all in one place, and you have your tactile research all in one place, and then that's all sort of wrapped up together into a single folder. Now, if you're doing this with hard copies, papers you can actually pick up and look at, you'll do that in like a folder or a binder. Binders work really well for hard copies. If you're doing it in a digital format, so like on the computer, you'll do it on an online file or a Google Slides presentation or a Pinterest board. I know a lot of designers are really into using their Pinterest boards these days. All of that's great. I collect all of mine in online folders, and that's because I commit folders within folders, and it's all just very neat and tidy. Um, so here is my portfolio, my online portfolio. Um, you can see all the shows that I've designed. Um, so I'm going to pick A Year with Frog and Toad because I know it's going to have a lot of images and little images in it. So here's my A Year with Frog and Toad folder. Those are all my designs. So I'm going to go here to research. All right. So you can see that everything is broken up. By the way, this is costume design, but you can do this with lighting design, set design, all design. This works for. You can see I've broken it up by character. So let's go to Frog. I don't have these in individual folders for historic research, evocative research, and tactile research, but you can kind of see that I do incorporate all of them. So here's my first. This is a piece of tactile research, right? You can see that it is printed on a shirt. This type of print is put on a shirt. And I've blown it up and I've put it big sort of in the background of this image to sort of show an idea of what I might go for. This is some historical research. Frog and Toad, I don't know if you know the Arnold Lobel books, A Year with Frog and Toad Are Friends, all of those. They're children's books, really cute. There was a play made off of them. Well, made off of one, A Year with Frog and Toad. And what I and the director decided to do was mix sort of like these animal aesthetics, right? Frogs, toads, birds, snails, and then mix them with 1930s, 1920s, 30s, and 40s fashion. So it's whimsical and it was fast and it's fun. We can really exaggerate silhouettes and forms that make it animal-like. Great idea. So this is a bit of historical research for hats that were sold in the time period. This is an advertisement for those hats. Here we have some more historical research. These are fashion plates. These would have gone in magazines to sort of show what the latest fashion was, but also primary research. Okay. Here we have some, this could be considered historical research because it is of facts, it is of a frog, or you could count it as evocative research. It doesn't really matter. This one can go both ways. Here's a few more frog images here and here. Here's an actual, this one was evocative. This is an illustration from the actual books. So this is Frog, and he's giving a letter to Snail. And so that's an illustration from the original book. Here's another historical. This is not a primary image. This is not a primary research source. It is secondary. It is a contemporary outfit styled off of a historical outfit. But because I have such experience with historical clothing, I know that this is actually really good. So I decided to incorporate that, even though it wasn't primary research. Here's some more tactile research, right? Some fabric that has really interesting print on it, and this is also tactile research. This is fabric that glue has been put in weird areas to make it tighter and make it buckle and have all. So the same can be said for, let's just go to research here. The same can be said for any of these. Any of these. Let's just go to the ladybirds. So here I have, this is evocative. It's not historical because this is not historically accurate. This is not a dress from the time period that we're working with at all. I incorporated this because I really like the flow of the skirt. I like the way it sort of moved. I felt like it could be sort of fluttery like a bird. So this was evocative or abstract. This is also evocative and abstract because this is definitely not from the 20s, 30s, or 40s. But the feathers sort of coming off in funky places. I really like this bright color. It looks very bird-like. Let's go down to some historical. Oh, good, here we go. So this is a historically accurate image. So these are of flight attendants from the 1930s and 40s. This is an actual picture from the time, so this is considered primary research, and it is historical. And the birds, there's that one, there's this one. Could be evocative, could be historical, because remember, historical is based in fact, since these are birds, lady birds, characters are birds. This could be used for historical. Either way, historical or abstract, doesn't matter. Let's see, this is tactile, I believe. Yes, this is tactile research. This is some lace, crocheted lace that I thought was very feathery and I thought I could use. Didn't end up going that way, but that's okay. Let's see, any other tactile? This one. This was another tactile image of some fabric that had a lot of little strings coming off of it that I thought looked like feathers I thought I could use. So you get the idea. This is not organized well into the historical, tactile, or abstract slash evocative. But it's all there, and it's there for every single character in my show. You will do this for every single character in your show if you're doing costume design. You'll do this for every scene. So every time the play is in a new location or a new time of day. If you're a lighting designer, time of day really matters. If you're a set designer, location is what really matters. Anytime you're in a new location, you will do this research. Instead of for each character, it's each location. If you're a lighting designer, it's each location and each time of day. So you can understand that sometimes you're, for this show, just with characters, I probably gathered over 100 images. Easy, easy, over 100 images, probably more along the lines of 200 images for this show. Same for the set designer. I know his research work was very extensive. It was very big. I don't know about the lighting designers, but I'm sure it was really large too. But at the end, you have this great compilation of images that you can use for future shows, um, for just inspiration ideas in general. So research morgues are really, they can be really fun, but they're also just really important to the overall design because you look at them while you design, you get inspiration from them. And maybe you don't use every single image. I actually didn't use either of those tactile research images. I went with a totally different thing once we found out our budget and the type of materials that were available to me. Totally went with something different. And that is a-okay, not a problem. But at least I had those images, so I sort of knew in my head what I was going for, so that when just life took us in a different direction with this show, with the Ladybirds, um, then I still had a good idea of what I wanted, and I could find different material that fit within those parameters. So you might not use every image, but have all of them just so that you have that inspiration and so that you can start maneuvering your designs on the path that you think is best. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have questions about this video or any other, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Happy designing!